"Sir, this check looks fake. We don't cash garbage here." The bank teller's words sliced through the lobby as paper tore in her hands. A stunned veteran stood frozen, his government check now shredded across the counter. The laughter from nearby customers stung worse than the insult. But he didn't argue. He didn't raise his voice. He just quietly pulled out his phone, made one call, and waited. Minutes later, sirens, black cars, and executives flooded the branch. Because the man they'd humiliated wasn't there to deposit money. He was there to audit them. The fluorescent lights flickered above Riverside National Bank, casting sterile light across polished floors and glass partitions. A queue of customers shifted impatiently, each tapping on phones or sighing loudly. Behind the counter, a teller leaned back in her chair, bored and self-satisfied until her next customer stepped forward. He moved with quiet strength, broad shoulders, upright posture, eyes calm but tired. His name was Major Anthony Cole, a retired combat veteran. He placed a folded government envelope on the counter and spoke softly. "Good morning. I'd like to deposit this check." The teller, Brittany Lawson, didn't look up. "Amount: $3,847. Her eyebrow twitched. "From where?" "U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs." Now she looked up, slowly, skeptically. "You mean a disability payment?" "Yes," he said. "I served 22 years. Her lips curved into a smirk. "Sure you did." She held out her hand. "Let's see it." He passed her the check. Brittany examined it, tilting it toward the light, lips pursed. "These things are easy to fake these days," she muttered. Anthony stayed still. "You're welcome to verify it," but Brittany had already decided. "Looks printed. Wrong paper texture. And these signatures? No." She shook her head. "I can't cash this." "You can run it through the federal system," he said patiently. "I said I can't," she snapped. A few customers turned to watch. Anthony's jaw tightened. "Then please hand it back." Instead, Brittany tore it in half. Then again. Then again, 4 neat pieces fluttered onto the counter. "There," she said, brushing her hands. "Problem solved." Gasps spread through the lobby. One woman whispered, "Did she just—" Another man pulled out his phone and started recording. Anthony stared at the pieces. "You just destroyed a federal document," he said quietly. "Fake document," Brittany corrected, crossing her arms. "If it were real, I'd lose my job." "I'm not stupid." The assistant manager, Devin Pierce, heard the commotion and approached. "What's going on here?" "This man's trying to deposit a fake government check," Brittany announced. Devin looked Anthony up and down. Jeans, jacket, steady posture. "Sir, we take fraud seriously. You'll need to step aside while we call verification." Anthony's voice didn't rise. "Call whoever you need," Brittany smirked. "We already know how this ends." 10 minutes passed. "Then 15, people whispered. Someone muttered, "Poor guy." Anthony checked his watch, then spoke softly. "I won't be here long." Brittany rolled her eyes. "Good." He pulled out his phone and dialed a single number. "Yes, this is Major Cole. I'm at the Riverside branch." He paused. "Yes, proceed." He hung up, calm as ever. Minutes later, outside the glass doors, the street filled with black cars bearing tinted windows. 2 men in suits stepped out first, followed by uniformed officers, and finally a woman in a navy coat with a gold badge clipped to her belt. "Regional Security Division," she announced as she entered. "Everyone remain where you are." The lobby fell silent. Brittany's voice trembled. What's going on?" The woman turned to Anthony and nodded. "Major Cole, we received your call." "Thank you," he said. Devin blinked. "Wait, you called them?" The woman opened a folder. "Major Cole isn't a customer. He's the Chief Risk and Compliance Officer for this bank's national board. He oversees employee conduct, discrimination audits, and fraud prevention programs." Brittany's mouth opened, but no sound came out. Anthony spoke calmly. "I was sent to observe frontline behavior." "You just demonstrated it?" Devin stammered. "Major, sir, we had no idea." "That was the point," Anthony interrupted. "You were supposed to treat every person with respect, regardless of title." The woman with the badge gestured toward the security cameras. "Everything's recorded, audio and video, including the destruction of a federal check." Brittany's face turned pale. I thought it was fake." Anthony looked at her evenly. You didn't think. You judged. The bank manager, Mr. Torres, rushed out from his office. Major Cole, sir, please. This must be a misunderstanding. Anthony's voice remained steady. The misunderstanding is believing your bank's logo protects you from accountability. He turned to the cameras lining the ceiling. For years, I've received complaints about discrimination and disrespect at this branch. Today I didn't come as an officer. I came as a test. Torres swallowed hard. Major, please, if we can discuss this privately. Anthony shook his head. No, the disrespect was public. The correction will be too. The woman from security nodded. By order of corporate compliance, the employees involved are relieved of duty pending investigation. Gasps erupted across the lobby. Brittany backed away from her counter. Wait, please. I didn't mean... Anthony's tone softened but stayed firm. You meant every word. That's why it matters. Security escorted Brittany and Devon toward the exit as customers clapped softly. Torres wiped sweat from his brow. Major Cole, the board will want to issue an apology. You will, Anthony said. But not to me, to every customer you've ever dismissed. And it won't be a statement. It'll be policy. He turned to the security officer. Initiate the dignity protocol. Effective immediately. Yes, sir. What's that? Torres asked, voice shaking. Anthony met his gaze. A reform system. Every staff member will complete bias and integrity training. Promotions will depend on how you treat people, not how you sell them. Reporters began gathering outside. News had already broken online. Veterans check torn apart. Turns out he's the bank's chief risk officer. Within an hour, national outlets carried the story. Public outrage mixed with praise for the veteran's composure. Later that afternoon, Anthony sat in the boardroom downtown. Executives surrounded him, pale and nervous. The footage went viral, sir, said the PR director. We're under pressure. Anthony nodded. Good. Pressure reveals integrity. The CEO cleared his throat. Major, what would you like us to do? He turned toward the window, watching the city below. Apologize sincerely. Pay her final salary, but make sure she understands why it ended. Then rebuild from the inside out. That night, the bank released its statement. Our chief risk officer, Major Anthony Cole, witnessed discrimination firsthand. Effective immediately, the Dignity Protocol will redefine how we serve every customer, with equality, integrity, and respect. The video spread globally under Respect's Wealth. Within weeks, the same branch reopened under a new banner. Every customer is a human account. Anthony stood in the lobby, watching a teller greet a veteran with a handshake. He smiled quietly. Respect, he whispered, is the only currency that never loses value.